Hello again everybody and welcome back to Celeste. It's time to get into the core, chapter 8, and you can see here that we already have the section select, which means I've beat the chapter before. I have had a recording mishap. Alright, to proceed here, we need 4 hearts. Yep, just 4. Not all of them, just 4. You might now say, okay, we can have 7 so far, but that's not quite true, because if you've played through all the B-sides, you would have access to 14 so far. And we've already been introduced to 2 of, or rather 3 of the gimmicks, actually, to be quite accurate. The first would be that we have 2 dashes, but it does not recharge. Unless, of course, we touch a dash crystal. Then we have these walls that kind of launches upward. And these blocks that launches if you touch them or grab onto them. And oh yeah, that strawberry is blue because we've already collected it. Due to that aforementioned recording mishap, which goes a bit beyond a few skipped frames here or there, I had to redo this entire level, which isn't too bad, I like the level. But that's why you'll see blue strawberries instead of red ones. But yeah, these blocks, you know, they launch you up if you step on them or hold onto them. It's quite nice. But you also need to time your jump appropriately, because if you don't time your jump right, you might not go far enough. And I suppose these fireballs also count as a gimmick, even though they're more or less just palette swapped dust bunnies from level 3. But they do work a little bit differently. And here is that core gimmick of the level. Yep, we can change from fire to ice. And now all of the aforementioned gimmicks work completely differently. These launching core blocks, they only really just kind of crumble. The fireballs, they kind of become stepping stones for us. And the walls, it kind of launches up, we just slide off of them. Which is the only surface in the entire game you cannot grab onto. You can still climb them, of course, if you know how to neutral climb. Which you know is what it did just there. That's a quite interesting mechanic to put into this level. We will switch back to fire and then to ice over the course of the level, but if you know some advanced tricks, such as, you know, neutral climb, you can actually proceed through levels without making the switch as often. It'll take you longer, but it's fun to do as a bit of a challenge, I suppose. I did it once, took me, you know, a bit longer, but hey, wasn't too bad. And now we can actually collect that strawberry with a bit of a familiar gimmick. Because these bumper blocks, we've seen them before, obviously. So if you've already beaten a level, you can just pause the game and look at the bottom of the screen and you'll see how many strawberries you've collected in which section, which makes it easier to go strawberry hunting after the fact. But, you know, I guess just, you know, having to redo a level has its advantages after all. And you can actually climb up there while it's still on fire mode, but it's much more difficult. As well as you could climb up here in ice mode, but you'd have to know how to neutral climb. It's just really something I love about the level. And you're supposed to launch up here, but I didn't, so, you know. Overall, this is probably like, I don't want to say my favorite level for gameplay reasons, but it's up there. My absolute favorite would be the Summit, of course, just for its presentation and everything around it. And yep, we saw it briefly, but we have to actually turn on ice mode again to get into here, otherwise we die. It's just a strawberry though, which, you know, again, it's just to impress your friends, so there's no need to get them if you don't want to do that. And as I mentioned in the first video, if they really are your friends, there's no need to impress them. They're just for fun, really. They're side challenges. And this is a rather rude strawberry, because you probably won't be able to see it in time to figure out how to get it. On the fly, at least. You're supposed to either press retry on the pause screen or die, or, you know, just get it on a second or third try. This section is deviously difficult. It seems a bit harder than it is, to be quite honest. Basically, what you have to do is just kind of figure out how long to hold the jump button after touching those ice fireball things. And that's just to get back, really. Because if you come up here in ice mode, which is easier, you won't be able to get that strawberry because it's enveloped in fire, or ice rather. For this video, I left in all of my deaths, mainly because there's not that many, except of course in this room. And there's some more later too, but they're not too costly in terms of time. I don't know, a new threat has been introduced. Lava from the bottom of the screen. Now, of course, turning the fire back to ice does somehow not get rid of that threat. We now have rising ice, or whatever that is. Something dangerous that kills us regardless of everything. I try to go for a faster way through here, which is a bit of a bad idea. Because there's one safer way that's much easier. As we see right here. This is much more difficult than it looks, by the way. Going back and forth between these ice blocks. I don't know what it is, but somehow I could not do the easy fast way through this level. I messed it up twice in a row here. If you just do a hyper dash twice at like the 2 spots, you can get through there rather easily, and faster than if you like use the bumper blocks. Ah, yes, the feather is back, and finally my practice playing bullet hell games pays off, as I can't just weave through these bullets or fireballs. Alright, the B-side as well as the heart aren't even hidden in that level. They're just on the path. Nice change of pace. Well, let's have a quick look at our stats. Yep, 100% at everything, that's what the star means, and collected everything else as well. Alright, 3.5 hours for the 100% bid, and like for not 100%ing 1 hour 2 minutes, which is okay. And here we have the B-sides, which is what we'll do next. But let's have a really quick look at them, because you know, why not? Oops. Oh well, you know, we will see more of that next time when we start the B-sides, which should be fun. There's some of my favorite levels, but they're also much more difficult than the A-side versions of the level, which is to be expected. But anyway, see you again when we start tackling those levels.